Hello guys, so today we're going to be talking about chapter 2 of the IGCSE Biology syllabus. Okay, and chapter 2 talks about the organization of organism. And in this chapter you have two subtopics, which is 2.1 and 2.2. So in 2.1 you're going to learn about specialized cells and their specific functions. And then you're going to also learn about cells, tissues, organ system, and organisms. And then lastly, in 2.2, you're going to learn how to calculate the size of a specimen. Now, first of all, let's talk about 2.1 specialized cells and their specific functions. Now, number one, here we have is a ciliated cell. Now, ciliated cell is located where? It's located in your trachea and your bronchi. Okay? So what really happens in these cells is that you have this long hair-like extension known as cilia. Okay, so when you breathe in air, so suppose the air is coming from this way, when you breathe in air, there are small particles, right, dust particles, which will affect the alveoli, right, because your alveoli is one cell thick, right? So the cilia will take in the dust, okay, and there's a cell here known as the goblet cell, which is not part of our syllabus. Goblet cell, what it does is that it produces what? It produces mucus. Okay, now the mucus plus the dirt or any bacteria which are there, this will come up together and will be beaten up, will be beaten up to the throat. Okay, so this will happen. So how you think of ciliated cells is like this. So dirt come in, not dirt, but you can say that breathe in, okay, breathe in, okay, and then what happens? It turns into what? Cilia traps the dirt. Then what happens? Mucus produced. Then after that, what will happen? Okay, so after mucus is produced, they will be beaten up to the throat and they'll be stored there. So that's why when you get cold or when you get coughs, what happens? The coughs are actually your mucus. Okay, so the bad air you have taken in, the mucus has been beaten up and stored in your throat. That's why you have cuffs, and when you take out your cuffs, they're slimy structure, right? So that's mucus with the dirt which has been collected while you were breathing in the air. So the function you can say is that the movement of mucus in the trachea and bronchi. Now second, let's talk about the root hair cell. Okay, now root hair cell is obviously present in the roots, and we know that roots take in water by which condition? We will learn that soon. Okay, so root hair cell absorbs what? Water by osmosis, which we'll learn in next chapter, and minerals by active transport. Now don't get worried about this, because this chapters or this topic will be learned in the future chapters, okay, about this water and osmosis and minerals and active transport. But we know that root takes in water for the plant to grow, correct? But how does this do that? Okay, now root hair cells have their own specialized function. Okay, now first of all, their function is that they have a cell membrane. When there is a cell membrane, what happens? Remember what we learned last time, the function of cell membrane. Cell membrane controls the in and out of substance inside the cell. Okay, so it will take in water, right? Next thing is that it has an large surface area. So when there's large surface area, what will happen? There will be maximum water uptake. So you'll have maximum water uptake, right? And third, there's also present, but it's not shown in this, but it has like extensions. So it has, so we can call this actually, yeah, this is the root hair extension. Root hair extension. So you have extension. Okay, now this long extension will allow the roots to go more deep to find out for water or minerals, whatever it's needed at the moment for the root. Okay, so this first two cells are cleared out. Now let's go to the next cells. Now this one is a palisade mesophyll cell. Now palisade mesophyll cell is located in the leaf. Okay, it's located in the leaf. So you will learn this leaf structure, but it looks like this. So on the top you have a cuticle, okay, then you have upper epidermis, then you have like this, they're like this in shape, then column like structure, and then the light comes here. This is the sunlight. Okay, now what is the job of this palisade mesophyll cell? Now what does this do? Okay, it does photosynthesis. But how does it do photosynthesis? Okay, now palisade mesophyll cell is located on the top of the leaf. Okay, it's on the top of the leaf. Second, okay, let's write this, top of leaf. Okay, second, palisade mesophyll cell are column like layers. So what happens, since they're column like layers, they have what? Maximum surface area. Now this maximum surface area will be good for photosynthesis, right? Because more of the area is getting light, right? So if you have more light and you have chlorophyll inside, what will happen? Photosynthesis will happen. Because what is the equation for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide plus water, and by the help of light and chlorophyll, what will happen? Oxygen will be formed plus glucose. Okay, now what does again palisade mesophyll do? It does photosynthesis. How is it adapted to photosynthesis? It is located on the top of the leaf. Second, it is in a column like layer. That's why it has maximum surface area to do maximize photosynthesis. Alright, got it. This is the third one. Okay, now let's go to the fourth one, which is the neuron cells. Now neuron cells are the cells located in your brain. Not only in your brain, but all around your body, literally. So suppose you touch something hot. What happens? You directly take out your, bring your hand back, right? Because the neuron cells are sending a message to your brain that no, we should take out the hand from the hot area or we will be burned, right? So the neuron cells do that. Now you will learn this structure more in depth in chapter 14. But for now, you can just say that it's conduction of electrical impulses. Okay. So if I touch something hot, what will happen? The receptors in my hand. Okay. Suppose this is the hot object, very very hot object, and suppose my hand is here. Okay, and it touches it. Okay, what will happen? An electrical signal will be sent to my brain. Okay, this is the brain. Be sent to the brain. So what will my brain do? My brain will take the hand off, right? So this happens by electrical impulses. So this is the fourth one. Next is red blood cells. So we have always actually learned about red blood cells since we were in year 4, year 5. So what does red blood cells do? Transport oxygenated blood, right? That's great. Now, actually, what is the function of red blood cell? to transport oxygen via blood. But how is it adapted to its function? So let's write down. This is the fifth one, I think. Yeah. So one of the function is that it has no organelles. What does that mean? It means it has no organs like mitochondria. What else? You have ribosomes. It's not there. You only have what? You only have cytoplasm. Okay. Why do you have this? Now this connects to the second point. Because to have an large surface area. Now the surface area is also large because of what? Because of its biconcave shape. Okay, you got it right. Now these are the only three things you have to remember. Okay, so if they ask about how is red blood cell adapted to its feature, so number one, it has no organelles, it only has cytoplasm. Since it only has cytoplasm, it has large surface area. Now why does it have large surface area? Because it has also biconcave shape, which will allow them to flow in the arteries, right? In the arteries, because your blood, oxygenated blood, goes to the goes from arteries, right? That's great. Okay, now we're done with this fifth one also. Now we have last two. Actually, this is the sixth one and the seventh one. And also remember, if you have any question, don't hesitate to write down in the comment or message us via the social medias, which will be posted also down in the description. All right, now let's go to our sixth and the seventh cell. Now the sixth cell is going to be the sperm cell. Now have you noticed something about these two of them? These two of them are actually sex cells, right? Sperm cell is actually in males only. Okay, so how is sperm cell actually adapted to its feature? So we know sperm and egg is needed during fertilization. It's need to make a zygote, right? Now the sperm, what it does is that, number one, sperm has a flagellum. This is the flagellum here. This is the flagellum. Now what is this flagellum needed for? Flagellum is needed to swim in aqueous environment, right? So when the sperm goes to egg, the sperm needs to swim, right, to the egg, and inside is an aqueous environment. So flagellum will help it to go faster and go to the egg and penetrate it, which we'll learn in the Excel what is penetration and all. Okay, next is going to be that it has mitochondria. Remember what we learned about mitochondria last time in our last video? Mitochondria, what gives out? What does it gives out? It gives out energy, right? It gives out energy. Now if you have more energy, if the sperm has more energy, it can swim faster, right? So mitochondria is needed. And lastly, we have acrosome. Now what is this acrosome? Such a weird name, right? Okay, so acrosome is one which goes inside the egg. So suppose this is the egg, okay, and this is the sperm. Oh, that doesn't look like sperm, but it's okay. This on the top part where I have shaded is going to be your what? Your acrosome. So when it penetrates means go inside the egg, okay, it will form an hard layer, which we'll learn in here. Actually this two is really connected to each other. Okay, so this acrosome is just there to go inside the egg, okay, and fertilize. Okay, so you can just say acrosome is needed for fertilization. All right. Now next is the egg cell. Now let's go to the part that I've just explained. Egg we have here. If sperm comes here, sperm is here, sperm, what happens? Another hard layer is formed. Okay, this layer is formed, so no more sperm can come in. Okay, egg cells, okay, sorry, egg cells have what? They have nutrients. All remember, they have nutrients, because when sperm goes inside the egg cell and makes a layer, it is a zygote, right? Now it will divide. It will then form an embryo. Then it will be a baby, which will form a fetus, right? Now the nutrients should be there for development of zygote. Okay, development of zygote. Okay, there is nothing much about egg cell, but the egg cell is just in, I forgot to say, it's in women. Okay, it's in female. Okay, females, always in females only. So it's just egg cell is there. Okay, and then sperm comes in. If sperm comes in, what happens? A hard layer is formed, which will make the egg harden, so no more sperm can come in. It is like, no, we're already booked, so there's no more reservation. It's like that for egg cell. Okay, and what does egg cell have? Egg cell have nutrients. Why we need nutrients? So the zygote, when it further divides into embryo, can have nutrients to grow. All right, so that's it for their specific function. Alright, so I will see you in the next video talking about 2.1, which is about cells, tissues, and the whole organ system. Thank you so much, and please don't hesitate to actually contact us in our social media platforms, or you can just comment below the video. Thank you so much.